You. We've talked about COVID-19 and its impact on schools and kids, so now let's focus on younger children. Cheryl Mercedes connects the dots.
There has been a lot of talk about how the coronavirus pandemic is affecting kids. But what about babies and toddlers? Let's connect the dots. A lot of parents have suspended normal activities for children of all ages. And for babies and toddlers, that means no more playgrounds, playgroups, and other fun activities that serve a larger purpose, mainly getting them ready for preschool. Now, experts who study development in younger children worry these kids will be behind when it comes to the academic and social skills that help them navigate a classroom. Group settings for babies and toddlers can be important. It is often when a young child is interactive with peers that adults will notice developmental delays. The co-director of the Institute for Brain and Learning Sciences told the New York Times, settings like daycares and playgrounds are where adults see a child struggling with sensory, cognitive, and motor skills. But there are options for parents. Many programs for toddlers have moved online, and the experts say these learning through play programs, even online, can be beneficial for children. While they may not be getting enough time with their peers, experts say there is one benefit from small children staying home. They believe all this extra time with their primary caregivers will boost language skills. Connecting the dots, I'm Cheryl Mercedes for HTownRush.